Nelson Mandela, the man who forgave a nation. Nelson Mandela was born on July 18, 1918, in a small village called Mbezo in South Africa. His family belonged to the Thembu royal tribe, and his father was a local chief. Mandela's childhood was simple. He spent most of his early years in the countryside, looking after cattle, playing with friends, and listening to stories told by elders around the fire. As a young boy, Mandela learned about African traditions, respect, and leadership. His teachers believed he was intelligent and disciplined. One of his school teachers gave him the English name, Nelson, a common practice during that time in South Africa. Mandela later moved to Johannesburg to continue his studies and search for better opportunities. There, he saw something that deeply changed his life. Black people in South Africa were treated unfairly because of a system called apartheid. Under apartheid, black citizens had fewer rights than white citizens. They could not live freely, vote, or even travel to certain places without permission. These injustices made Mandela angry and determined to fight for equality. He studied law and became one of the few black lawyers in South Africa. Along with his friend Oliver Tambo, Mandela opened a law firm to help poor black citizens who suffered under unfair laws. Many people came to them for legal help because they had nowhere else to go. In the 1940s, Mandela joined the African National Congress, also known as the ANC. The organization worked to end apartheid and demand equal rights for all South Africans. Mandela became active in protests, speeches, and peaceful campaigns against the government. At first, Mandela believed peaceful protest could change the country. But as the government became more violent, arresting and killing protesters, Mandela realized the struggle would become harder. He secretly organized resistance movements against the apartheid government. Soon, Mandela became one of the most wanted men in South Africa. Police followed him everywhere, and newspapers called him dangerous. In 1962, he was arrested and later sentenced to life imprisonment. Mandela was sent to Robben Island, a prison far from the mainland. Life there was extremely difficult. Prisoners worked long hours breaking stones under the hot sun. They received very little food and were treated badly by prison guards. Even in prison, Mandela remained strong. He encouraged other prisoners not to lose hope. He secretly studied, wrote letters, and continued thinking about freedom and justice. Over the years, he became a symbol of resistance not only in South Africa but around the world. Many countries demanded his release. People carried banners with the words, "Free Nelson Mandela." Songs were written about him, and millions saw him as a hero fighting against racism and injustice. Mandela spent 27 years in prison. During those years, he lost precious time with his family and children. Yet he never stopped believing that one day South Africa would become free. Finally, in 1990, after international pressure and growing protests, the South African government released Nelson Mandela from prison. The moment he walked free was watched live by millions around the world. After his release, many people expected Mandela to seek revenge against those who had imprisoned him. But Mandela surprised everyone. Instead of promoting hatred, he spoke about peace, forgiveness, and unity. He believed South Africa could only move forward if black and white citizens learned to live together as one nation. Mandela continued negotiations with the government to end apartheid peacefully. His leadership and calm attitude helped prevent civil war in South Africa. In 1994, South Africa held its first democratic election where black citizens could vote freely for the first time in history. Nelson Mandela won the election and became the first black president of South Africa. The victory was emotional for millions of people. Citizens celebrated in streets, danced, and cried tears of joy. Mandela's journey from prisoner to president inspired the entire world. As president, Mandela focused on healing the country. He worked to improve education, healthcare, and human rights. He encouraged forgiveness instead of revenge. One of his most famous actions was supporting the South African rugby team, even though many black citizens saw rugby as a symbol of white rule. Mandela wanted sports to unite the nation. His leadership earned him respect worldwide. He received the Nobel Peace Prize and became one of the most admired leaders in history. After serving one term as president, Mandela stepped down peacefully in 1999. Even after retirement, he continued helping charities and speaking for peace, children's rights, and equality. In his later years, Mandela became known as the father of the nation. People respected him not only because he fought against apartheid but because he chose forgiveness over hatred. Nelson Mandela passed away on December 5, 2013, at the age of 95. Leaders from around the world attended his funeral and honored his legacy. Millions of people remembered him as a symbol of courage, patience, sacrifice, and humanity. Today, Nelson Mandela's story continues to inspire people everywhere. His life teaches that even in the darkest times, hope and courage can change history. True greatness is not about power or revenge. Real leaders forgive, unite people, and continue fighting for justice even during the hardest times. Nelson Mandela showed the world that patience, courage, and forgiveness can defeat hatred and injustice.